Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen. Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman kathiran kathira. Famabadu, my brothers and sisters, this morning we talked about Istighfaar and Tawba. I want to elaborate on that to remind myself and you about the importance of Istighfaar and Tawba. A man came and started praying in Masjid al-Nabawi Sharif. Sayyidina Ali bin Abi Talib radiallahu anhu was sitting there. So the man came and he stood and he said, "Oh Allah, forgive me and forgive my sins. Astaghfirullah alladhi la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilayh." And he said, "Allahu Akbar." So when he finished his salah, Sayyidina Ali called him and he said, "Do you think Istighfar is only so simple? You just say Astaghfirullah and it's done?" He said, "This is not the way to make Istighfar." He said Istighfar has several stages. He said the first stage of Istighfar is that you sincerely and deeply regret the thing that you are repenting for. So whatever is that sin that you have been committing, either of sin of commission or of omission. For example, you were supposed to do something for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For example, the simplest and the most common one is the neglect of salah. We are supposed to pray and we don't pray and we neglect salah. So then, subhanallah, may Allah ta'ala give us tawfiq. Allah gives us tawfiq and we realize that this is something which I have been doing, which is very bad, I should stop doing it. And you want to make istighfar. So the first and foremost thing is to feel deeply regretful about doing the thing that you were not supposed to do or not doing the thing that you were supposed to do. He said the second very important thing is that if the matter involved anybody else, for example, salah involves only the abd and the Rabb, Jalla Jalaluhu. There's no third person involved. But supposing it is that you usurped somebody's rights, you abused somebody, you slandered somebody, you did whatever you did, which was from the huquq al-ibad, from the rights of the people, and you did not fulfill those rights, or you deprived people of their rights, then you must go and make amends. You must go and reimburse those people. You must go and apologize to those people. If you have to give back what you took, you must give it back. If you have to compensate them. The Sahaba even asked Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they said, "Ya Rasulullah, what if that person, the actual injured person, is no longer there? Because maybe I got this, I got this realization that I've done something wrong, and meanwhile this person has died or this person has gone away somewhere, is not accessible. Then what do we do?" Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, "Then you reimburse that person's heirs, the people who inherited from that person, his children or whoever it is." And he said, if even, so Sahaba asked, they say, "Rasulullah, what if even those people are not there? Maybe the whole family disappeared or something." He said, "Then you continuously make istighfar and tawbah for that person, and you give in sadaqah, continue to give in sadaqah with the intention that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should reward that person for the sadaqah that you are giving." So Sayyidina Ali said, this is the second step. He said the third step is that you hate to go back to that sin that you were committing with such intensity that even if somebody murdered you, if somebody killed you, you still would not do that. Even on pain of death, you will not go back to that sin. And this is the fourth thing is that now you do the right thing and you stay on that right thing with istiqamat, with steadfastness. So he said the istighfar and tawbah, this is the whole process of istighfar and tawbah. As I mentioned, this body, these two words are interchangeable. If somebody just mentions istighfar, then it means istighfar and tawbah. If somebody says tawbah, it means istighfar and tawbah. But if the two words are individually mentioned and if they are explained, then they mean what they mean. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Fastaghfiru thumma tubu ilayh." Allah said, make istighfar and then turn towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Istighfar is to repent, is to apologize, is to be sorry. And tawbah is to turn towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So both are important, that we are regretful for what we did and that we turn towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Jalla Jalaluhu, and we live our lives in a state of obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Istighfar and Tawba is the root and the beginning of everything good. It is the beginning of a change in our lives. It's a beginning of completely revamping whatever we were doing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His infinite mercy, left the door of Tawbah open until the end. Until the end. So no matter what anybody has done, one must never lose hope. One must never ever feel that, oh, but you know what to do, I am so old now, I have disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all these decades, Allah will never forgive me. This is kufr. To say Allah will not forgive me, or to say to somebody else, Allah will never forgive you, is kufr. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, a man went to a scholar and he said to him, I have done all these things, and do you think Allah will forgive me? And the man said, no way, Allah cannot forgive you. Allah cannot forgive you because you are such an evil, horrible person. There is no way that Allah can forgive you, and Allah will not forgive you. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this man is trying to impose his will on me. Who is he to say that I will not or cannot forgive somebody? So I forgive that person and I enter him into Jannah, and I will punish this man and put him into the hellfire. We also have the story, the famous story again in the hadith, where this man killed 99 people. And then he had this realization that I have done something wrong. Imagine, he's a serial murderer of 99 people. Then he goes to a scholar and he says to him, this is what I have done, I have killed 99 people. Do you think Allah will forgive me? And the man says, no way, Allah cannot forgive you. So this man also kills him. Out of his, he obviously had a anger problem or God knows what he had. So in his fury, he kills this man also. So that's now 100. Now he goes to another scholar. And he said, I killed 99 people. Then I went to this man, I asked him, will Allah forgive me? And he said, no, so I killed him also. Now I've got 100. Now what do you say? Will Allah forgive me? The man said to him, Allah will forgive you, but leave this place and go to such and such a place. He told him a place which was far away from where he was. He said, leave this place. He said, the problem why you are the way you are is because of your company. This place is not a good place. This place is full of evil people and you are in the middle of them. So that's how you became like the way you became. So leave this place and go to such and such a place. And then you make istighfar and inshallah, Allah Ta'ala will forgive you. So the man left and he's on his way. He traveled a small distance, nowhere close to where he was supposed to go, and it was time for his death, so he died. So now Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that the angels of Jannah and angels of Jahannam both came. And the angels of Jahannam said, well, this man is ours because he killed 100 people. And he has not made tawbah, he has not made istighfar, so he is ours. The malaika of Jannah, they said, no, he had the intention of making istighfar, he was going there. And Allah would have forgiven him if he had made istighfar. But he did not make istighfar, it's coincidental, it just happened, but he was going there for that reason. So he is ours. So of course Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what's going on, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the intentions. These malaika go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they said, Ya Rabbal Alameen, this is the story, what is your hukum? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, measure the earth from where he started to where he was going. If he crossed the halfway mark, then he goes to Jannah. If he did not cross the halfway mark, he goes to Jahannam. So the malaika go there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders the earth to stretch so that when they draw the line, it is beyond the halfway mark. So this is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused this man to be forgiven. The mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is such that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, O my slaves who have transgressed against yourselves. Right? Ya ibadi alladhina asrafu ala anfusihim. La taqnatu min rahmatillah. Inna Allah yaghfiru dhunuba jami'a. Innahu huwal ghafur rahim. This very, very, very beautiful ayat where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, O my slaves who have transgressed against yourselves. Because the thing to remember for us is that committing a sin, we are not harming Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing can harm Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Huwa samad. Allah is beyond, Allah has no need, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has no one can harm him, no one can help him, no one can increase his glory and majesty, no one can decrease it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so when we commit a sin, and may Allah protect us from committing sins, when we commit a sin, we are really transgressing against ourselves. Because the sin is going to harm us. Sin will not harm Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah is saying, Ya ibadi. Now think about it. Just see the Arabic and the Quran. We as human beings, of course, Ta'ala Allahul Amthal, I'm not giving the example of Allah, but for us, normal people, our tendency is that when if somebody disobeys us, that you may have may Allah give us good children who are obedient and who are good mannered and good akhlaq. But supposing you have a disobedient child who never obeys you, who is disrespectful and so on, you distance him, right? If you have an employee who's like that, you will fire him. Whoever is disobedient to us, whoever harms us, we distance them from ourselves. Even sometimes I mention this, jokingly, but that's also true. At home, if your son or daughter does something good, you will say to your wife, "See what my son did." And if he does something bad, you say, "See what your son did." So the same son, if he does something bad, it is your son, and if he does something good, it is my son. So this is our tendency. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ibadi, O my slaves. Man huwa ibadullah? Al-Nabiyyin wa Siddiqeen wa Shuhada wa Salihin? No. Alladhina asrafu ala anfusihim. Ya ibadi. Alladhina asrafu ala anfusihim. O my slaves who have transgressed against yourselves. Allah is not saying my slaves, the Anbiya, the Salihin, Siddiqeen. No. These are the sinners. These are the bad people. These are the people who disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who are doing all kinds of garbage in the world. Allah is saying my slaves. All of these, you're my slaves. So the first and foremost, this is the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of Arhamur Rahimin. My slaves. Alladhina asrafu ala anfusihim. And then, La taqnatu min rahmatillah. Do not lose hope in the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not lose hope in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. La taqnatu min rahmatillah. Do not lose hope, do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Never say Allah will not forgive me. No, Allah will forgive you no matter what you did. Allah, provided you make sincere istighfar and tawbah. La taqnatu min rahmatillah. Inna Allah yaghfiru dhunuba jami'ah. Inna Allah, verily and truly, see the emphasis of Inna Allah yaghfiru dhunuba jami'an. Verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive all sins, no matter what it is, provided you make istighfar and tawbah, and I mentioned the method of that. Innahu huwal ghafurur rahim. And He is the one who is the most merciful, the most beneficent. Ghafurur rahim, He is the most merciful and He is the most merciful. So this is the important thing to understand, that as far as the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is concerned, it has no boundaries. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful, the most beneficent, the most forgiving, and therefore we must never lose hope in the mercy of Allah. Do the right thing, and if you make a mistake, then always be regretful of that and apologize and correct the mistake. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us to be people who are obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and who live a life which is filled with goodness for everyone who is around us. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyil kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin.